as you just introduced me, I'm Alpa, and I think I'm a classic example of a comeback career. I am currently employed with the Services Export Promotion Council. Rather, it's just been 2 weeks that I've joined them to set up and head their Western Regional Office from Mumbai. Prior to this, I was employed with the Consulate General of the Kingdom of the Netherlands in Mumbai as Senior Trade and Investment Officer. And prior to that, I was with Confederation of Indian Industry, one of the leading chambers of commerce. I was heading their international desk and special projects from the Western region. So if you see that through all these three career moves, they've all been very diverse. But the common factor amongst all of this is that I have worked with industry at large. I've not been employed with one particular organization. And this has given me a great sense of satisfaction, great opportunity to network with a large number of people and expanded my knowledge to that no academic skills could have given me. My profile at all these above mentioned places has been policy advocacy, business matchmaking, capacity building for the organizations, strengthening the international business ties, and beyond that. It required me to constantly keep myself updated with the industry trends, the political trends, the economic trends, not just for India, but also the countries, because there are companies who I had to deal with who are looking at setting up shops or setting up business abroad. And as I said, it was very, very exciting. Of course, challenges do come with these kind of excitement, but it's been a great fun journey for me. Most important thing that I've learned during my last tenure at the consulate is working with the SDGs. How important are the sustainable development goals, not just from perspective of the climate action change, but how important is it to be imbibed as a culture in the corporate from top to bottom, from the CEO to the middle level. Each level of the person in an organization should be aware that the SDGs are very, very important and we have to work towards attaining them. My journey has not been a planned journey. I had never thought that this is what I am going to intend to do, and nor was I academically qualified to be here. But of course, I had taken it upon me to constantly keep upgrading my skills, try to take up various educational programs in between. As I mentioned in the beginning, I'm a classic case of a comeback career. I had taken a 6-year break from my professional life to conceive and raise my 2 daughters. And of course, they have been one reason that inspires me to be a better person, not just professionally, but also personally with each day. Simultaneously, as I just mentioned, that I had to, of course, keep myself abreast of the academic skills as well. I was just a graduate when I was at Mumbai Board Show Private Limited. So first I took up on myself as part-time MBA from ICFAI. I did not have the time to go for a full-time MBA. I did not really have, but of course my children were still young. They were in their primary school, but they were young. So I finished my MBA around that time when I was moving from Board Show to CII. And just 2 years back, I thought I still further want to upgrade my skills. So I enrolled for a senior management program from IIMA. And yes, I completed that in 2019. And now I'm a proud alumni of this prestigious institute. Also, I just started believing in what I'm working on. So at CII, I feel that the chambers of commerce are quite underleveraged, not only from what they're offering to the industry, but sometimes companies have not even really understood what they can get out of it. So I wanted to bring out this subject of what the chambers of commerce are, and to showcase that, I took up a doctorate on the subject of chambers of commerce, which I have completed just last year. Of course, it was along with IIMA also. It took me almost 4 years to complete the entire thing, and now I have presented it. I think what had really helped me is when there was a need that I had to be in the operations front, I took forth. I said, okay, I'll do this. When there was a need to also take up the role of an HR manager, I've also taken up that, because I think it was just the ownership. You start believing in the product. You believe that the brand is something that you own, and you have to do everything to make it work. To the youngsters today, I would definitely tell them that if you are very focused and you know where to go, kindly chalk up your path, map up your path, find out how and where to go. It may have worked for me, it may not work for everybody, that's a different thing. What has really worked for me is my passion. Whatever I have worked on, I have just fallen in love with it, I can say. I've just given my 100% to whatever I'm doing and work towards just making that thing a success. It was not about me being successful myself. Success means different things for different people, but for me, it has always been that the project or work that I'm doing, that has to be completed successfully. As I started, that I have worked with these kind of organizations where my network is vast. I interact with a many number of people, and it's this network and maintaining my relations with them has helped me here. Why have I been working in these kind of setup, like say a consulate or CII or even the services export promotion, is that every time that a company has come and told me that, so and so intervention, you do a lot of programs, you do conferences, you do workshops, you do training programs into all of these. And every time that a company or person comes and tells me that you did something like this, which has really helped me. I had attended your program or something, say 3 years back, and today I'm here because of that. And that gives me a sense of pride. I think I have done my bit, and it just motivates me. We all know that things in life have not been easy for most of us in this 1.5 years. Some of the sectors have very badly been hit, and we do feel bad for them, but some have just flourished. So if you see, the smart businesses have been very quick to adapt to the changes and diversify themselves. The trick was to diversify. Not everyone has that opportunity and not even the bandwidth to do that. And I am very overwhelmed, and it really feels good when you see so many people going out to support these kind of companies, not just companies, but also people, because if you cannot help someone, say financially, or if you cannot help someone with a job or something, the least you could do is talk good with someone or motivate someone, and which is really happening. Of course, I'm not saying that other kind of help is not happening. There are people who are being supported financially also, with good health, the oxygen support and everything that we are seeing. Of course, that's being done. I would first, rather, I would like to start with the positives of the COVID, that I'm still employed. I save almost 2 hours of commute every day, and I'm sure a lot of other people are doing that. So we get to spend time, not only just family, but also pursuing our hobbies. Because if you're saving in a city like Mumbai, if I'm saving 2 hours a day, imagine the kind of things that I can do in those 2 hours if I have a good time management. On the business front, of course, the most evident change that we all are seeing is technology. Technology has played a great role. And thanks to the Indian government that few years back, the Digital India thing did come up. Imagine if that had not come. Imagine if the, the currency thing had not come. People would have never learned to do the net banking. Of course, it was cursed then. Any kind of disruption is always cursed when it is coming in, because see, disruptions are expected any time, but what we are facing right now, the pace at which it has come in has been very swift, and most of us have adopted to this change. It's all about conditioning. We were conditioned to work in a certain manner. We believed that working in that particular manner is just the right way to work. So the moment we had to work in a different way, it is initially difficult. Not that I have not faced it. Of course, initially even I felt that what is happening? I can't meet my people. I can't meet my colleagues. There were some projects, programs, training programs and events lined up, and I didn't know how will I do this remotely. But we worked our way. Technology was there. Immediately we got platforms where we could have the B2B meetings, and things have just worked. So one has to be prepared for disruption. And I do not advocate work from home culture completely, because we as human beings are social animals. We need to meet and interact with our colleagues, clients, families, just all about it, even our business associates. How do you start a new business? In earlier times, it was that when you're meeting a person, when you're talking to someone, the eye-to-eye contact would build the trust. But in the current times, how do you take it? But pandemic has taught that. It's taught us that work doesn't stop, meeting people does not stop. What we do today, we shop online, work online, we study online, and we also socialize online. We have gatherings with friends online, we have gatherings with colleagues online. At our workplace at the consulate, we don't only have the team meetings, but you try to develop, on Fridays, you have a social call with your colleagues so that you don't lose that personal touch. We have gaming sessions, we have remote games, we create videos with our colleagues which we place on social media, and it just brings a smile to your face. It makes you feel that you're connected to your people, because end of the day, that is also your family. It's with whom you spend your entire day. And even the large corporates, if we go to see, they're not just counting only on the numbers and profits, they are working towards the well-being of their employees. So it's just making me feel that it's a very, if you think positive, you get only positive. So I think it's bringing the world closer, though it's virtual, but it's still bringing us closer to each other. It's not making us distant from each other. It's bringing the emotional quotient in a lot of people. I've learned to trust my team, I've learned to trust my colleagues, and I learned to believe that results can be achieved when we are working remotely as well. Not everyone needs to be monitored, not everyone needs to be told at every point of time that this is how you need to do things. Just trust people, leave things on them, and just wait for the results. It will come out. It is also important, but I have heard cases, it's not happening really with me, but people are not getting their personal space in this work from home thing. There are people who are contacted at odd hours. They have to put in long working hours. Unless it's an exigency case, I think this can be avoided. We need to, just because somebody is home, we cannot really be on their head 24/7. The private space, the personal space has to be respected. A what if scenario should always be there. Like, what if plan A does not work and something untoward happens? Then what is plan B? Today, when I sit with my team and say if there are some conferences or something which I am moderating, I always keep a disclaimer in that, that if I fall unwell or if my internet is not working or something goes wrong, so and so person will be moderating the session. And I also share the talking points along that this was my script, I'm sharing it with you. If something happens to me, you take this forward. And last on the work from home thing is, I would say, discipline. I had started my career working from home. And even at that time, I was very strict with my timing. I was quite disciplined. I wanted to, though I didn't really have too many meetings, it was telemarketing then, the technology and hardware was not also advanced. But I made it a point that I should start my work on time, end on time, particular breaks at a particular time. Also dress up professionally so that you get into that whole feel that I'm still working, I'm still there. And discipline is very, very important, even if you're working. Leadership is not about power. It's about vision and responsibility. You have to take up the responsibility. You have to effective and clear communication with your team, with your colleagues, with your business contacts. It's very, very important. Be very crisp, clear, and effective in your communication. A lesson that I have learned personally is competition is healthy, but I prefer to compete with myself. From what I was yesterday to what I am today, I would rather prefer to see how am I growing rather than compare myself with someone. I'm not in a rat race with somebody else. Rather, if I have developed myself, then I'm more strong and confident to face about anything. Stay focused on your goals, where you have to do, what results you have to give, and you will achieve it. And there's a saying that, if you know how some people forget the dead, you'll never live to impress anyone. So try to work to impress yourself. It's your duties, your goals, and your integrity. Though I have not planned my career, as I said, but I would still tell people that it's good to have long-term goals. I more of, I had goals for myself, for my education. I didn't have goals that I would want to work here or in a particular manner. So the people who are trying to work towards a particular goal, I would just tell them that have a long-term goal, but along with them, map up short-term goals. Because if you have the short-term goals, it will help you reach the long-term goals. Whether it's for yourself or even if it's for your business goals, you need to have, along with the long-term goals, you need to have the short-term goals, because you never know when you have just diverged from it and you may just reach somewhere else. Last but not the least, networking. For me, was really worked, as I mentioned in my previous conversation, networking has really helped. My world is a big ocean. I think I've worked in different sectors, different companies where, again, because I was not in one company but working across industry, I have a large network of people. Network not only creates business opportunities for you, of course, it's very good for business opportunities, but also helps you learn and grow as a person. Academic qualifications are one thing, you learn what is mentioned in the books, but when you're interacting with a person who's already been there and see that, and those life incidents and things that you listen from people, that take you a long way. That learning takes you a long way. It's not just for finding ways. This networking is not only for you to grow your business or personal interest, but it is also for you to grow your personality.